Karen, Stephanie, Mama Sue, Miss Smith, Sumarah. Just a few of the names that we all knew our great mother of the arts by. She's truly left behind so many great pieces of culture through her music, artwork, calligraphy, storytelling, mentorship, teaching, community activism, and so much more. Through the love she's showed on so many people in the community. I'm very honored to be here in front of you as her middle son, Allende, and my older brother, Jabron, and younger sister, Indra, join us in the crowd. And I just say on their behalf, we thank you as a community for loving our mother so much and to making her such a part of our history now. As I reached out to different people to ask for their memories and things they can tell us about what Sumarah was to them and all the things she did, I was just astounded again by not only how much she did, but how many people she meant so much to. Recently, one of her greatest friends, Jara McKinney, describes Sumarah as exquisite in so many things that she did. Not in just her artwork and her cultural activism and her music, but that she had a true pitch when it came to singing. And anybody who's ever seen with my mom will know that she'll really have a true pitch is almost divine. And it really was a blessing to have her sing to so many of us. But also she explained with her second-born twin, Jore, that she was exquisite in so much more. As many in the crowd, I'm sure, would agree. She was a spiritual mother to so many in the community. She was the oldest of her 6 surviving siblings, Mark, Gail, Brenda, Janet, Nancy, and Kathleen. She's always been the big sister when it comes to giving guidance, wisdom, and just being spiritually strong to those around her. Really, with such an amazing journey, I can make a documentary, but we don't have time for that right now. We had a slideshow originally of some pictures of her, but it's a little too light for you guys to see it on the projector behind me. But we're going to try to get it on an outlet like YouTube on Facebook so everybody can enjoy those memories with us. In another story, some more memories I just want to share with you guys on what Sumarah meant for us. She was the daughter of Etta Mae and Ernest Smith, and many would say that she really encompassed the spirit of her mother Etta, being the mother not only to her own children, but to those she may not have even known, to anybody that was willing to let her love on them. She became their mother. As she grew, she went to the Eastman School of Music in New York for opera, but her journey soon turned to a less traditional singing journey, which I think we would all agree was exactly what the Creator had planned. This allowed her to unite with her firstborn son, Jabron's father, Ron, in which she co-founded the band The Nomads you just heard, which their live shows they did at the DIA are actually in their permanent archives, if you ever take a minute. This track behind us is actually Ron and my mother rehearsing for her very last performance while she was with us on this earth. He also let us know that he introduced her to Melody McCulley, which she went to school with, who was actually one of Stevie Wonder's backup singers. He said that Stevie actually sampled her voice into his computer, but that he could never figure out if he had used it or not. So we may not even know what track she's on. They also created Ethnic Adventures in Art, which my mom used her artwork and calligraphy along with Ron to make greeting cards and different hand-printed things. They made plenty of designs. They sold out in the November of 1985, and they've been good friends ever since. As she continued, she came to raise us 3 wonderful children, myself and Jara and Jabron, and we really have just grown to have faith in all the things that our mother believed in as true. And the faith is what I want to talk about, because Jara also mentioned in her memoir that my mom, she had a very good spiritual understanding and understanding with the spiritual world, and that she performed many rituals. I don't know all of them, but that many of her mamas and babas could tell you that she really had a way of moving everyone in the room, that she could speak a word and cause the whole atmosphere to change. And as I grew up, I didn't really understand what she meant sometimes by spirit. we'd be out and we'd be walking. I was maybe 5 or 6, and we'd be catching the bus and we miss it. And we wouldn't know what we were going to do. And she said, you know what, baby, it's going to be all right. Spirit got something for us. I'm just going to listen to Spirit. Everything is going to be all right. And in that age growing up, I didn't really understand it. I couldn't equate it to any written religion. So I didn't accept it right away. But as I've grown to become a believer in God myself, I know that that faith that I hold my own understanding in, the faith that I fuel my life and why I do what I do, is that same faith that my mom taught me in all those situations. That I wanted to quote verbatim actually what Jara wrote down. They said, my mother's incorporation of her spiritual understanding and connection was in her everyday life. She never owned or drove a car in her life, but she got everywhere she needed to go. She didn't have a job, per se, on the books, but she always had the money to do the things that were important to her. And so as she went through her life being a teacher, a mentor, she taught art at Aisha Skule, African Center School, for many years. She also was a part of Hakama, which means Women of Wise Words, which started off as a Nigerian Shekere group. And also her friend Amal was a part of that group along with Jara and many other mamas. And so just to kind of finish up, there's a lot that so many people could say. You all know she's in your hearts and around you. And no matter what is said, no matter how many stories there are, I just know in my heart that she is with us in our history. And so I just want to thank Mama Njia and the African World Festival for giving us this time to honor her and to remember her. And they've already started the process of archiving some of her artwork and music samples into their files. And so if anybody has anything that they feel is art from my mother, anything they gave her, a card that she wrote or she drew, any music samples, please reach out to the museum and let it become a part of our children's future, because she has a lot to show. And so in closing, a few weeks before my mother passed, I was at a meeting she was at with a lot of her sister friends, and they were just coordinating how they would get her to her appointments and whatnot. And she said to us, she said, I'm not dying. She said, it might look like it, but I'm not dying, I'm healing. And she said, I'm not healing this physical body, but I'm healing my spirit. I'm becoming free. And so it truly was one of the most peaceful transitions I've ever witnessed, to that I felt okay with losing her in this physical world, because she is free and yet among us, an angel in our midst. And so I just thank everybody again for enjoying my mom with me and for having all these brothers and sisters in the community just because you called her mama too. Thank you.